Chapter 21 Why Fight Alone When You Can Fight in a Group? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Do you really think that there is no one in my Taisha immortal dynasty? Above the 9th level, the old monster of the Taisha immortal dynasty raised his hand. With a finger, a beam of light that destroyed the earth burst out, but in the dark, there were other powerful people who stopped the old monster of the Taisha immortal dynasty. Then the elders of the ancient clan also raised their hands to stop other powerful people from stopping the old monster of the Taisha immortal dynasty. The powerful people that the ancient clan did not like also raised their hands, and the patriarch of the ancient clan stopped other powerful people from stopping the old monster of the Taisha immortal dynasty. The powerful people of the hostile sects of the powerful people that the ancient clan did not like raised their hands again, one ring after another, in just a moment. A group of powerful people had already erupted into a melee. The arrow has come to Huangfu Shiyan's eyes, about to pierce through his eyebrows and strangle a peerless genius. Breaking the rules, how can you get what you want? That a cold and gloomy voice exploded in the ears of all living beings. Time seemed to be imprisoned. Only a pair of white jade palms tore open the chaotic and disordered subspace. The palm stretched out a finger and touched the arrow. In an instant, the indescribable annihilation force swallowed everything. The arrow turned into a group of the smallest extraordinary factor and dissipated in the world. The hands returned to the subspace and the space returned to calm. A moment later, on the 9th floor, there was a lot of golden blood falling. The cries of countless creatures could be heard faintly, and the majestic vitality energy turned into clouds and a light rain began. The Tao disappears. A powerful person above the Life Emperor realm has fallen. Who is the one who attacked? All living beings were horrified. In just a moment, a powerful person in the Life Emperor realm was killed. Then the existence of the attacker must have cultivated to the ancient fairyland. Even, the Chongqing ancestor realm. Changzhu. All living beings knew that the fallen powerful person in the Life Emperor realm was the one who attacked Huangfu Shiyan, because he broke the rules, relying on his high cultivation. He attacked the younger generation and wanted to strangle him in the cradle. He held the fluke and thought that the real giant-level existences would chase the artifact into the foreign continent, but he never thought that there was another one in secret. Gu Kun had expected this. In the original work, there was a powerful person who wanted to attack Ye Hao, but was wiped out by the existence that maintained the rules. This is the basic rule of Sandazu, and all the strong men in Xingyuan realm need to abide by it. If you attack the younger generation, I will definitely retaliate. This will lead to a vicious cycle. The successor of my own Taoist school has been cultivated and poured with countless resources, but you can kill him casually, and you can't even wait for the day of rise. Therefore, for such a strong man who attacks the younger generation, everyone can kill him. Gu Kun took advantage of the fact that everyone was attracted by the disappearance of the Tao, took a golden rope, and put it on the Black Lotus of Destruction. Others responded and tried to stop him, but they were repelled by the fairy beads on Huangfu Shiyan's head. With Huangfu Shiyan's strength, as long as there is no accident, it is a sure thing to seize the Black Lotus of Destruction. Now with the help of Gu Kun and Li Zhenhan, the Black Lotus of Destruction will soon be in his hands. The Black Lotus of Destruction was in hand, but it still needed to be refined to represent that this treasure completely belonged to Huangfu Shiyan. The Black Lotus of Destruction was a holy treasure, and it was very difficult to refine. Gu Kun sacrificed the immortal rope of the top-grade immortal weapon level to let it firmly trap the Black Lotus of Destruction, so that it was easily refined by Huangfu Shiyan. However, the immortal rope was eroded by the destructive power of the Black Lotus of Destruction, and the whole body turned black, obviously useless. Thank you, brother. Huangfu Shiyan stepped on the Black Lotus of Destruction, his face full of joy. In a battlefield of a treasure in the distance, Ye Hao saw this scene, and his face was extremely distorted with anger. Bitch! Deep in the sea of consciousness, Xuanyu God reminded, the battle for the world tree is about to end. Don't care about a woman anymore, she has nothing to do with you. Practice first. After the initial refining of the Black Lotus of Destruction, Huangfu Shiyan's strength climbed again. Seeing that Li Zhenhan was still fighting against the evil dragon, Gu Kun asked Huangfu Shiyan to help. Miss Shiyan, there is no need to help. This is Li's battle. Li Zhenhan was really angry at the Nielong. Huangfu Shiyan looked at Gu Kun and asked Gu Kun what he meant. Gu Kun was speechless. These proud sons of the world like individualism too much. The world tree is more important. When can't we fight? Then, Gu Kun led Huangfu Shiyun to kill the Nielong directly. Brotherly, why fight alone when you can fight in a group? Li Zhenhan, who was still fighting with Nielong, was stunned. At this time, Nielong had not yet revealed his true body, which showed that he was still able to deal with Li Zhenhan, but facing Huangfu Shiyun's Qingming Bingyuan with destructive power, his face changed, and he did not dare to fight it head-on, and quickly retreated. Let's go. Gu Kun pulled Li Zhenhan and went towards the World Tree. At this time, the World Tree battlefield has come to an end. It is also the most intense moment. Ye Hao also lurked in the crowd, waiting for an opportunity. As long as there was a gap, he would seize the World Tree in one fell swoop, and then the Qian temple would directly escape from the battlefield and enter the Tao realm. Ha! Fight, the World Tree will fall into my hands in the end. Ye Hao suddenly thought of something. Senior, didn't you get a gem containing the power of destruction before? Can you pass it to Gu Kun and Huangfu Shiyun? As for Gu Kun and Huangfu Shiyun, Ye Hao wanted to kill them as soon as possible. Although he hated Gu Kun the most, he also knew that he could not compete with Gu Kun now, but it would be great if he could kill Gu Kun's own son and that bitch. In the depths of the sea of consciousness, Xuanji God said, Ye Hao, Gu Kun let you go once, why do you have to retaliate against him? For Gu Kun, Xuanji God did not know his purpose, but he was not indifferent, a hero with calculations, means, scheming, and overall situation. His future achievements are definitely unimaginable. If it were any other strong man, he would definitely kill Ye Hao at all costs and seize the Xuanji temple, but Gu Kun could ignore the temptation of the Zhuangxuanzi temple and valued himself, which shows the vision of this person. Xuanji God knew that Gu Kun wanted to invest in himself, after all, as the master of the Xuanwu temple, even if there is only a trace of residual soul left. If there is a chance to rise, it will definitely rise to 900 million miles. Hearing what Xuanwu God said, Ye Hao became more and more dissatisfied. He thought that Xuanwu God actually moved the conditions that Gu Kun offered at the beginning to leave a way out for himself. If he can't do it, he will abandon himself and turn to Gu Kun. But what Ye Hao didn't know was that the Xuanwu temple was located deep in his sea of consciousness, and it would automatically see through everything around it, including Ye Hao's thoughts. As the master of the Xuanwu temple, Xuanwu God naturally knew what Ye Hao was thinking. He became more and more disappointed with Ye Hao. Gu Kun can't be killed. Huangfu Shiyun used the holy weapon to trap us. She was willing to become Gu Kun's pawn. This hatred must be avenged, right? Ye Hao was unwilling to die, staring at Huangfu Shiyun with resentful eyes. Xuanwu God sighed. Have you forgotten your previous feelings? Ye Hao sneered. Feelings? She wants to kill me. I obviously paid so much for her, and gave her the extremely precious Shenhuang essence. But what about her? She actually took the initiative to give her innocence to an old guy, who is old enough to be her great-great-grandfather. Senior, will you help me avenge this hatred? Ye Hao asked tentatively. Ye Hao, she is unkind, you can't be unjust. And the pearl should be kept at the critical moment. We are about to enter the world of Taoism and will face countless unknown dangers. Xuanwu God advised kindly, not wanting to see Ye Hao blinded by hatred. Ye Hao remained silent, and there was an answer in his mind. It was certain that Xuanwu God must want to leave a way out for himself. He had taken the trouble to find the treasure of the world to reshape her body, but she was a fence-sitter. If he was unreliable, he would turn around and find Gu Kun. Knowing what Ye Hao was thinking, Xuanwu God became more and more disappointed and could only pretend not to know. Through the incident of Huangfu Shiyun, Xuanwu God also saw that Ye Hao had problems with his character and had no respect for women at all. Why can't you accept that you have several women and Huangfu Shiyun just didn't have sex for the first time? He always talks about benefits and resources. It is estimated that the reason why he is with Huangfu Shiyun is that he is attracted by her background, physique, and appearance. Otherwise, if he really loves her, how could he give up her? Ye Hao has planted the seeds of doubt about Xuanwu God in his heart. Xuanwu God also has planted the seeds of disappointment in Ye Hao in his heart. When disappointment reaches a certain level, he will leave Ye Hao, and this is what Gu Kun really wants to see. Instead of forcing Xuanwu God to leave Ye Hao, it is better to let her abandon Ye Hao on her own initiative. Not long, Xuanwu God seized the opportunity. Now, Yi Hao performed the Kunpeng magic, and a pair of Kunpeng wings appeared behind him, and he arrived in front of the world tree in an instant. Got it. Yi Hao was overjoyed, but at the same time, Huangfu Shiyuan's life in Gu Kun also moved. Seal the earth-locking tower. Warm reminder, if you find that clicking the next page will force you to jump to other websites, please use the chapter error or contact us at the bottom to inform us. We will handle it as soon as possible. Thank you for your understanding. Chapter 22 Junior Sister has you in her heart. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In Huangfu Shiyuan's purple palace, countless forbidden runes burst out, filling the entire world. At the same time, the world-destroying black lotus on her feet cooperated with the fairy beads on her head to emit thousands of beams of light. The original Qian and the top champions who fought for the world tree were already exhausted. At this moment, they had no way to deal with Yi Hao, who suddenly appeared in front of the world tree, and Huangfu Shiyuan, who blocked the world with force. Seeing this familiar scene, Yi Hao couldn't help but think of the scene more than a year ago when Gu Kun used Huangfu Shiyuan and trapped him. Senior, run! Yi Hao was horrified. This time Huangfu Shiyuan was far away, using the sealing heaven and locking earth tower. If she wanted to escape, it would not be difficult, but the world tree in front of her was surrounded by the rules of the world, and it would take another breath or two to get it, but in just 1 or 2 breaths of time, the sealing heaven and locking earth tower will be completely closed. Xian God sighed. In the dark, perhaps they have already discovered us, otherwise it wouldn't be such a coincidence. Yi Hao said, but the world tree. Let's go. Xian God urged the Xian temple to emit brilliant divine light. Just before the countless runes on the sealing heaven and locking earth tower were about to close, he broke through the space and entered the foreign continent in an instant. For the sudden scene, the other Tianjiao Guanjue were a little confused, but they were not trapped by Huangfu Shiyuan, and all of them attacked the sealing heaven and locking earth tower. A man with a naked upper body, a head full of black hair dancing wildly, and 1,000 kinds of precious light flowing all over his body, he made a gesture of supporting the sky, and his body quickly rose up, and soon reached 10,000 feet, holding the sealing heaven and locking earth tower. Open! He roared repeatedly, and the surging blood and qi surged, but no matter how hard he tried, he could not break the double blockade of the sealing heaven and locking earth tower and the destruction black lotus killing formation. On the contrary, he was pierced by Huangfu Shiyuan's extremely cold destructive beam. The young patriarch of the Zhan clan felt pain, and his body quickly recovered to its normal size like a deflated ball. There were many blood holes in his body. If it weren't for his strong body, he would have been annihilated by Qingming ice element and the power of destruction. So strong. The young patriarch of the Zhan clan looked at Huangfu Shiyuan, with strong fear in his eyes, and at the same time, a strong desire to fight. Gu Kun's goal has been achieved, and his ability has prevented Yi Hao from getting the opportunity. Then it depends on whether he can seize the world tree. Brother Gon has helped me to seize the black lotus of destruction. I must help Brother Gon to seize the world tree. Huangfu Shiyuan made up her mind. Brother, go and seize the world tree. Shiyuan will protect you. Huangfu Shiyuan shouted to Gu Kun, then he attacked even more fiercely. Countless beams of light burst out from the fairy beads on his head, suppressing the Tianjiao Guanjue and the sealing heaven and locking earth tower, and preventing them from approaching the world tree. They had already experienced a hard battle and were suppressed for a while. Gu Kun came to the world tree, raised his hand and took out a talisman, and stimulated it with blood. Before setting off, Gu Kun had already prepared, knowing that there would be a world tree, so he prepared a high-level talisman for sealing. However, in the sealing talisman, there was also a terrible destruction talisman hidden, which was a backup to prevent unexpected situations. The level of the world tree is indeed high, but it is only a seedling now. As the talisman was activated, the power of the rules protecting the world tree was smoothed out. Just when Gu Kun was about to put the world tree into the storage ring, a spirit hidden in the dark could no longer hold back. A flash of white light passed, and the world tree disappeared from the spot. Its speed was so fast that everyone was shocked. What a terrifying speed! Could it be that a powerful person took action? No. It's the divine beast Emperor Jiang. It is said that Emperor Qian can travel 70,000 miles with one wing, and 280,000 miles with four wings. So cunning and good at forbearance, I didn't expect that the final winner of the world tree would be it. Looking at the empty space in front of him, Gu Kun silently retracted his palm, looking at the white light shuttling in the sealing heaven and locking earth tower, his eyes were calm. Wait for you, the sealing heaven and locking earth tower activated by Huangfu Shiyun has limited power. At this time, the rune was dim, and it was clear that it would not last long, but Huangfu Shiyun gritted his teeth and persisted. Obviously, his brother was almost done, but he never thought that an Emperor Jiang would come out halfway and intercept the world tree. Evil beast, die! The fairy bead on Huangfu Shiyun's head changed the target, and countless beams of light shot at the white light. The power of the beam was terrifying, but it couldn't even touch the tail of Emperor Jiang. Shiyun, close the sealing heaven and locking earth tower and let it leave. Gu Kun said, if the sealing heaven and locking earth tower is maintained, not only will Huangfu Shiyun be backfired, but the sealing heaven and locking earth tower will also be damaged. Even if it is a holy weapon, if the user is not strong enough, it will cause irreversible damage to the holy weapon itself. Huangfu Shiyun sighed, stopped forcing himself, and lifted the blockade of the sealing heaven and locking earth tower. In a moment, Dijiang turned into white light and headed straight for the left Dao realm. Thank you, young master of the ancient clan, for the treasure. Before leaving, Dijiang did not forget to mock Gu Kun. Facing the extremely fast Dijiang, the other Tianjiao Guanjue could not stop him even if they played all their cards. Gu Kun, along with Huangfu Shiyun and Li Zhenhan, also chased after him and entered the mist. Until then, Gu Kun smiled. No need to thank me, I should thank you. Long before, Gu Kun was thinking about a problem. After taking the world tree, how can he enter the left Dao realm safely without being besieged by other people? And now, the problem has been solved. Dijiang possesses extreme speed and can leave behind all competitors after winning the world tree. As for how to recapture the world tree, Gu Kun has already laid out the means. When sealing the world tree before, Gu Kun pasted a sealing talisman on the tree trunk. This is not the case. In addition to a sealing talisman, there is also a destruction talisman hidden inside the sealing talisman. On the way to pursue Dijiang, Huangfu Shiyun felt a little guilty. I'm sorry, Shiyun couldn't help my brother win the world tree. Gu Kun didn't care and showed his affection. You can't do this again. You are more important to me than the artifact. Huangfu's poems are full of warmth and warmth. I know. Gu Kun asked Huangfu Shiyun to regain his strength first. The previous battle consumed Huangfu Shiyun's many Qingming ice elements, and he needed to recover to his peak as soon as possible. Li Zhenhan was filled with envy when he saw Gu Qian and Huangfu Shiyun looking so loving. Brother Gu, you said that if junior sister and Lin Chen are alone together, they will not develop into a Taoist couple, right? Li Zhenhan was very worried. After all, first comes first, so Li Zhenhan was very reluctant to let Xiao Ling'er stay with Lin Chen. It's okay to let it go. I've been able to confirm through previous testing that you are among my junior sisters, and you are very important to her. And after some testing, she definitely has no intention of falling in love with Lin Chen now. But... Gu Kun paused. After all, if the male and female protagonists are together, how can they not encounter feelings? Just a few more heroes to save the beauty, the female protagonist will fall in love with the male protagonist without thinking and become dead. Li Zhenhan tensed up. But what? Gu Kun shook his head. Just act according to the situation. Anyway, you and your junior sister often get along alone, so there is still no progress. Chapter 23 The World Tree explodes when it says. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The left Dao realm is flooded by the white mist of the void space, and it takes a little of 2 points to do anything. According to the description of the original work, Zuodaiji is a chaotic world, and there is no stable situation similar to. The mainstream creatures are still the J tribe, and most of them are evil, such as controlling animals, controlling insects, controlling acacia, etc. It is acacia. What impressed Gu Kun deeply was that there was a big family in this Wu Dao world, which rose very quickly and relied on Hehuan to become bigger and stronger. The head of the family was a talented man, very powerful, and married a lot of women, from to old monsters. He would not let them go, and what's more, not only is not even the demons are not spared, but for one thing. That guy's wife is very beautiful. Gu Kun wondered whether that guy was the holy body of Yu Lao or the divine body of Cupid. A few days later, based on the connection between the talismans, Gu Kun found a group of mountains. On the highest peak of the mountains, Di Jiang looked towards Gu Kun-san. As alert as it is, it can keenly detect that there is something wrong with the talisman affixed to the world tree, so it has never dared to tear it up. The master of the ancient clan has good tricks. He used my hands to seize the world tree. What a plan, what a plan. Di Jiang's voice did not match its shape, like a baby's voice. When Huangfu Shiyun saw Di Jiang, he immediately activated the fairy beads, and the black lotus mark on his eyebrows also turned into a black lotus of destruction. Li Zhenhan and Li Weiner held swords and surrounded both sides of the Dijiang River. Di Jiang said disdainfully, "No matter how many times you wait, if I don't want to, no one can touch me." If it weren't for the talisman on the world tree, why would it be waiting for Gu Kun here? I always thought that the leader of the ancient clan was blinded by the female, but now it seems that it was all just a disguise. Di Jiang stared at Gu Kun and opened his mouth slowly. Gu Kun put his hands behind his back and flew towards Di Jiang. "Let's make a condition. The world tree is very important to me." Di Jiang sat on the top of the mountain, squatting like a monster. Gu Kun also came to the mountain and faced the Dijiang River, slowly opened. "The world tree is dispensable to me." Hearing this, Di Jiang sneered, "Is it optional?" Di Jiang laughed strangely. "Do you think you are the patriarch of the ancient tribe and you don't even care about world tree? Gu Kun really didn't take world tree seriously. For Tianjiao Guanjue, world tree seedlings are extremely precious and can provide huge help on the road of self-growth, but Gu Kun is not the most arrogant person. If the world can reach the growth stage, or the completion stage, the ancient stems will move. As for the seedlings, sorry, Gu Kun, as a great master in the Qing Emperor realm, is no longer the most talented person. At this time, Gu Kun's body is looking for the greatest blessing in Ye Hao's journey to the left world. The rest is icing on the cake. If there is, there will be. It doesn't matter if you don't get it. And for Gu Kun, the destroyed world tree was the greatest improvement to the ancient holy body. Di Jiang possesses extremely high spiritual intelligence. Naturally, I don't believe that Gu Kun is untouched by the world tree seedlings, so there must be a bigger plan, or maybe you want to let yourself relax your vigilance and make a sneak attack. Master Gu, please make some conditions. In Di Jiang's chaotic head, there were two groups of light, which were his eyes, staring at Gu Kun. Gu Kun nodded, "Be my follower." Di Jiang immediately refused, "Impossible. Listen to me." Gu Kun was unhappy. Di Jiang still refused. "I can take action for you, but it is impossible for me to follow a human being, even if it is only temporary." My arrogance. Before Di Jiang could finish his words, a terrifying roar came from the world tree in front of him, making him frightened. A pair of snow-white wings flapped behind him, and he was far away from the world tree in an instant. "You're crazy!" Di Jiang roared, his voice extremely sharp, like countless babies crying. Gu Kun did not waste any time and directly detonated the destruction talisman that sealed the talisman. "I said, world tree is dispensable to me." Gu Kun's tone was quiet. The world tree was blown up and turned into countless pieces of world rules. Di Jiang took a deep look at Gu Kun, and then disappeared into a white light. This incident made Di Jiang need to re-examine Gu Kun. He is definitely a monster if he acts too decisively and ruthlessly. Even the saplings of the world tree exploded as soon as they were said to explode. It didn't hurt him, but it hurt him. There are talismans flowing on the surface of Gu Kun's body, and a big bell protects him. The original mountains disappeared, and only in the area where the world tree was just now, there was a group of fragments of world rules lingering. Brother Gu is so courageous, even destroying sacred objects of heaven and earth such as the world tree. Li Zhenhan admired him a little. Gu Kun flew into the fragments of world rules, opened his arms, and used all his strength to activate the ancient holy body in his body. The world tree is destroyed, but not completely destroyed. The ancient holy body crazily devoured the rule fragments, and its aura became terrifying to the naked eye. Li Zhenhan's eyes were filled with surprise. This is it? The reason why the world tree is precious is that it contains the power of the original rules of the world. Even if the main body of the world tree is destroyed, the power of rules will remain forever. I am the ancient holy body. My physique conforms to the rules of the world. After absorbing it, I can greatly stimulate the power of the ancient holy body. Gu Kun explained, to other living beings, if the world tree is still in its true form, it can be bound to its own life source and possess indescribable vitality. Moreover, the world tree itself can also be used as a magic weapon, which has many benefits, but if the body is destroyed and the world rules are directly absorbed and integrated into the body, the benefits to the ancient holy body can be maximized. Of course, it is limited to a few top physiques such as the ancient holy body, ordinary. Tianjiao Guanjue can't touch the world rules at all, and can only stare at this group of rule fragments. So that's it. Li Zhenhan was a little amazed. Brother Gu is so knowledgeable that he knows so clearly even the rare holy object of the world tree. Li Zhenhan sighed. Huanfu Shiyun smiled secretly, an old monster who has lived for nearly 10,000 years, of course he is knowledgeable. A few days later, Gu Kun integrated all the world's original rules contained in the world tree into his body, and a majestic figure appeared behind him as if he had come from the ancient times. Li Zhenhan, who was guarding beside him, opened his eyes with a look of shock in his eyes. What a terrifying ancient phantom. Then the fighting spirit appeared in his eyes again. I wonder who will win if the current brother Gu fights. Gu Kun restrained his own breath, and the ancient shadow behind him gradually returned to the ancient world. He opened his eyes, and his pupils reflected the ancient world. An unparalleled power filled his body. However, Gu Kun's eyes were still calm. After all, this body is just an incarnation. Okay, it's time to go for real training. Gu Kun said. Chapter 26 Give Ye Hao another chance to choose. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qian Yi's eyebrows bloomed with illusory fairy light, and a treasure mirror with 9 colored rays of light appeared in front of her. A drop of soul blood is needed to stimulate the virtual fairyland, and this drop of soul blood needs to contain thoughts that want to know the problem. Qian Yi introduced. Soul blood. S eyes were filled with uncertainty. Soul blood is very important. If it is controlled by him, it is equivalent to giving up half of your life to others. Qian Yi nodded. If the question you want to know is simple, blood essence will do. Seeing Daqian's hesitation, Qian Yi didn't urge him. This kind of thing requires mutual trust between both parties. However, he only hesitated for a moment, and then he forced out a drop of soul blood flowing with blazing heat from his eyebrows, like a small sun. This surprised Qian Yi. I thought that someone with such a thoughtful mind would hesitate again or think of other ways. Do you need me to swear that I won't harm you? Qian Yi asked. Gan shook his head. I believe in fellow Taoist Qian Yi. After all, the previous junior named Ye Hao asked you, a holy lord, to protect him just because of a bottle of Xianhuang essence, and he was not greedy for the treasure on his body. Qian Yi smiled, and her impression of Gan completely changed. Take that drop of soul blood and blend it into the realm of virtual immortal heaven. With the release of the 9-color light, the nearby heaven and earth seemed to turn into a variety of colors, presenting countless scenery. The mythical beasts are dormant in the sky, mortals are offering sacrifices to the gods, and wars are breaking out in the cities. The mirror surface of the virtual fairyland rippled, and finally turned into several pictures. The first scene is an abyss in the left world, the third picture is a sea of bones deep in the abyss. The third picture is the core of the bone ocean, a teleportation array. As for the third picture, it is a detailed map. It is clear that abyss is a restricted area in the left Dao realm, and is called the death abyss. As long as you fall into it, you will be trapped to death, and you will never be able to escape, but that is for the creatures in the left world. The cultivation system of the left Dao realm is far inferior to that of the 3000 Dao states, and the strongest people can only reach the perfection of the Kaixing Yuan realm. Gan knows that he needs to speed up. After all, the creatures that entered the left Dao realm this time were still the same group of old monsters from Sanqian Daozhou, but it is estimated that they are still fighting for the artifact born from the collision of continents, so they probably don't have time to explore the left world. Moreover, the area of Zuodaiji is equivalent to January 3000 of the size of Daozhou. Even those old monsters can't even think of exploring it all so quickly. Half a month later, the abyss of death. Gan breathed a sigh of relief and did not notice the smell of the old monster. There are too many abyss in Xuedao realm, and most of the territory of Xuedao realm is inhabited by strange beasts, so there is no teleportation array, so even if you search for souls, you still don't know where the abyss is. I still found this abyss based on the map of the Shushin heaven realm. Walk. Dot was the first to fly downwards, and a powerful weight instantly pressed down on. If you do it more clearly, it's no wonder that the creatures who fell into it can't get up. This weight is so strong that even he, a great man in the Xingdi realm, has trouble breaking free, but it's not a big problem. It's not difficult to leave the abyss with the holy weapon in your hand. Qingyi also followed closely behind. There is no heavy influence at the bottom of the abyss, and bones can be seen everywhere. Many of the bones still have original runes on them, or are covered with golden light, and the bones themselves are golden. It can be seen that these withered bones were extraordinary in life. After all, unqualified bones will turn into powder if dropped. Gon is not interested in bones. Is it possible to take them back to make bone soup? The two men swept through the sea of bones, and found a broken old teleportation array at the bottom. After repairing it together, get on the teleportation array and enter the distant battlefield. The place is desolate, with a sense of death. There are no stars, sun or moon in the sky, and the light is dim. The earth is covered with white bones, and the number is even greater than the bones in the abyss before. It seems that I am aware of the breath of life of Genking-yi, the eye sockets of. Countless bones below were ignited with will-o'-the-wisps. What a strange dragon clan. Qingyi let out a light sigh. Not far away, a 10-foot-long dragon rose into the sky. This dragon is very similar to a dragon, but it is very different from a dragon. The bones of its lower feet are thick, its upper limbs are short, and it also has a pair of large wings. Gan could tell what kind of dragon it was at a glance. Too vivid. It's a western dragon. In addition, there are also types with wings, types with huge bones, and types that are as short as dwarfs. They are the Angel clan, the Titan clan, and the Dwarf clan, if you remember correctly. The distant battlefield is a foreshadowing for a future battle. It means that the enemy in the future is a race in Western mythology. To this, is disdainful. Are Western myths comparable to Eastern myths? No, cultivation will be suppressed here. Qingyi's expression changed, feeling that her cultivation was being constantly sealed by the rules. Take action and kill all nearby undead creatures first. In just a moment, the two men's cultivation levels were suppressed and reached the level of Yanqiu realm. It's a good idea to have solved the undead creatures here, otherwise there will be some trouble. In response, Qian looked as usual. Let's go. According to the original description, Gan Qingyi cooperates and walks through dangerous situations that the protagonist will encounter in the future. For Tianjiao Guanjue, there are many dangers, but for the two suppressed emperors, it was like a cracked version. Not enough cultivation. Is the holy weapon enough? Is the strength not strong enough? Is a stack of top-grade talismans enough? Too slow. Move the treasure to find out. He easily passed the level all the way and soon came to the depths of the secret realm. A green lake appeared in front of him, with an indescribable greatness of life. Even Qingyi couldn't help but exclaimed, a lake condensed by the longevity factor. If it weren't for the danger in the lake, Qingyi couldn't help but go down to take a bath. He didn't hesitate and went straight to the center of the lake. The lake is naturally dangerous. It was a creature that lived in the distance, and with the help of a seed of the chaos green lotus, he wanted to realize the plan of rebirth. He arranged the upper battlefield into a funnel, extracted all the life essence, and finally gathered it in the lake. After a long time, the original life essence was transformed into the immortality liquid, and every drop was precious, but it was not enough. He would open the teleportation array, let the living beings enter it, fight with the undead creatures, and kill each other, and finally cultivate the chaos green lotus. But what he didn't expect was that Wang Gan had no martial ethics and broke in advance, ready to intercept the protagonist's opportunity. In general novels, such goods, after countless years of plotting, will eventually be used as dowries for the protagonist. Rather than giving the protagonist a bargain, it is better to give me, the villain, a bargain. Qingyi hesitated for a moment and followed him. She really wanted to see what the treasure that Wang Gan wanted was. Even the artifact is not worth looking at. What is it? The visibility at the bottom of the lake was extremely low, and the immortality liquid suppressed the spread of the divine consciousness. Not long after, Qin felt the battle fluctuations coming from her, and she was suddenly shocked. At this time, Wang Gan was fighting with a rotten corpse at the bottom of the lake. The corpse roared continuously, showing great hostility to Wang Gan, who suddenly appeared. Wang Gan had already prepared means to deal with the corpse. Nail. Wang Gan flicked his robe sleeves and flew out 365 nails with brilliant light. This was made of the great light heavenly gold, which had an overwhelming restraining effect on undead creatures. In less than a breath, the corpse was nailed to death on the spot and purified by the great light heavenly gold nails. Wang Gan broke open its chest and took out a flower bud with flowing green light of creation. The chaos green lotus that appeared was not fully mature yet. It was necessary to wait for the creatures from the outside world to enter the distant battlefield, fight with the undead, and use the Changxing Lake to trigger a war. After a large number of creatures have died, the chaos green lotus absorbs all the extraordinary factors of those creatures and can fully bloom. Although the chaos green lotus is also a seedling now, the power of good fortune contained in it is not comparable to the world tree. Qin looked at the chaos green lotus in the hand of the edged Jinggan, and greed appeared in her eyes, but she soon put away her greed and returned to the lake to absorb the immortality liquid in the lake. Seeing Qin leave, the Jinggan silently took back a mini sword in his sleeve. Jinggan will not take the chaos green lotus away immediately, because it is not yet mature, and needs to absorb the good fortune factors contained in the 3000 Daozhou Tianjiao, but the chaos green lotus needs to be refined first. After all, Jinggan still hopes to rely on the chaos green lotus to make Ye Hao and Xiantian God break up completely. The chaos green lotus contains indescribable greatness of creation, which can allow Xiantian God to directly reshape his body. There is no need to spend time looking for various materials to reshape the body. Just one chaos green lotus is enough to completely defeat all the treasures. However, will Ye Hao choose to reshape the body for Xiantian God, and then take the Xiantian temple away, or will he monopolize the chaos green lotus and kick Xiantian God away? After all, the chaos green lotus is more precious than the Xiantian temple. Haha. Ye Hao, you have made a wrong choice once. Now, I will give you another chance to choose. Chapter 27 Golden Crow Holy Medicine and Sun True Fire. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother Gu, we have been separated for so long, will she be okay? Am I done with my sister? Brother Gu, I am panicking. Will your playing hard to get method really work? Along the way, Gu Gan was almost annoyed by Li Zhenhan, the liquor. I don't understand why he didn't look back at Li Wan'er. In Gu Gan's eyes, Li Wan'er is much better than Xiao Ling'er. She is beautiful, kind, modest, sensible and polite. Look at Xiao Ling'er again. She is selfish, self-righteous, willful and arrogant, and most importantly, Li Wan'er will not lick Li Zhenhan like a liquor. She just hides her love in her heart. Huangfu Shiyun saw that Gu Gan was annoyed and changed the subject for him. Brother, what are we going to do next? Just stroll around. Gu Gan didn't have a clear goal either. The left Dao realm was submerged in the mist of the void space, and no mark was left on Ye Hao, so he could not be tracked. However, it was not difficult to find Ye Hao. Wherever the protagonist was, there would be no peace, so wherever there was a treasure being robbed, Ye Hao would be nearby. As he was sneaking, the temperature began to rise. The surrounding environment also changed from forest to desert. The earth was baked black by the high temperature, and there was no green at all. Seeing this, Gu Gan knew that he was very close to Ye Hao. According to the original work, this was the place where a golden crow fell. The corpse of the golden crow created this scorching world. It was an excellent place for body training. Gu Gan immediately activated the ancient holy body, and the ancient power flowed on his body, transforming the scorching high temperature on the body into blood power to enhance the strength of the body. The human race in Sanqian Daozhou mainly cultivates the Tao of Law, which is like Huangfu Shiyun. With the Qinming Bingpa immortal body and an immortal pearl, he is enough to suppress a group of Tianjiao. He doesn't even need to move, and he can sit cross-legged on the destruction Black Lotus. In addition to the Tao of Law, the Tao of body refining is also the mainstream. After all, Sanqian Daozhou also has some ancient backgrounds, and there are thousands of races. For example, Ye Hao is practicing both the Tao of Law and the Tao of body refining. and Li Zhenhan is practicing both the Tao of sword and the Tao of body refining. As for this external incarnation, like Ye Hao, he is also practicing both the Tao of law and the Tao of body refining. So this place is a hot place of the Golden Crow, which is good for the 4 people to practice body refining, but the winner was soon determined. Li Zhenhan's body refining cultivation reached the first level of the true heaven, comparable to the high level of the true realm, and his progress was the fastest. Huangfu Shiyun was originally in the 4th level of the true heaven, but when he was in the ancient clan meeting hall, he was stripped of 1 level by Gu Kun and fell to the 3rd level of the acquired heaven. Li Wan'er and Huangfu Shiyun are similar, and the two support each other. Gu Kun's ancient holy body is not in the physical cultivation level. Fortunately, when shaping the body, a treasure that improves physical cultivation was integrated, but it is also in the early stage of the 4th level of the true heaven. In fact, if Gu Kun had kept all the top treasures for himself instead of giving them to Huangfu Shiyun, with the unique advantages of the ancient holy body, Ye Hao can be completely overwhelmed. Ye Hao wants to defeat Gu Kun. It is almost impossible, now that Gu Kun's external incarnation has absorbed the world rules of the world tree. The ancient holy body has been improved, and the physical cultivation level has risen rapidly. After the Zhuo Dao realm tour is over, when it merges with the main body, it will feed back a greater source of power. Brother Gu, I'll go ahead and see what kind of treasure is in the core of this place. Li Zhenhan laughed loudly, and the whole person flew out very far like a cannonball. Gu Kun was not in a hurry, sealed his cultivation, and used his body to resist the high-temperature invasion. The body was roasted by the high temperature and gradually began to shed its skin, but under the dead skin, there is a more terrifying ancient body. In the deepest part of the Jinwu Forbidden Land, there is a holy treasure, Jinwu Holy Medicine. Not only that, the former Zhuo Dao realm river bordered Sanxian Daozhou, and many treasures were born in the Zhuo Dao realm, scattered all over the Zhuo Dao realm. There was such a holy treasure that was attracted by the Jinwu Holy Medicine and came to the Jinwu Forbidden Land. It was a sunflower. Although it is just a seedling, it contains the essence of the sun spirit, and has a large space for future growth. A golden crow holy medicine and a sun spirit, 2 holy treasures will naturally lead to a terrifying war, and those who can participate in the competition are at least the second-tier Tianjiao seniors. People like Lin Chen and Xiao Ling'er can only look for their opportunities in the periphery of the Golden Crow Forbidden Land. Ha! An underground flower. Huangfu Shiyun raised his hand and grabbed the flame hidden in a red rock. The underground flower, named Yuan Zhen, is just an ordinary high-level spirit, not even a fairy, let alone compared with the sun spirit. However, if you collect the Yuanyang true flower and the true Yuan 3 flower, you can use the true way to fuse them into the 3 Yuan immortal flower. Buddhism calls it the Samadhi true flower. And if you collect 9 3 Yuan immortal flowers, there is a chance that they will fuse into the 3 immortal saints, and their power is even greater than the sun true flower. Haha, keep it, maybe one day, you can really refine the 3 immortal saints. Gu Kun laughed. Huangfu Shiyun took the flower from the ground into the dantian for warming, and smiled tenderly. I dare not hope for the 3 immortal saints. I am in the true realm, and I am satisfied with having a 3 Yuan true flower. Along the way, Gu Kun's body training reached the late stage of the 4th level of the true heaven, and the improvement was amazing. After all, the ancient holy body has evolved, and this body has been greatly improved in all aspects. In addition to the underground flower, Huangfu Shiyun also collected an aerial flower. As long as she gets another 3 flowers, she can try to fuse them into the 3 Yuan true flower. The 3 flowers are a fusion of an underground flower and an aerial flower, which is too rare. However, there are many treasures with different attributes, for example, red refined copper, pure black gold, dragon scale fruit, etc. These were given to Li Wan'er, who was relatively poor compared to Gu Kun and Huangfu Shiyun. After all, one of them is from the ancient tribe, and the other is a princess of the immortal dynasty. For Gu Kun, it is meaningless to leave these treasures on the ground without picking them up. Only the Golden Crow holy medicine and the Sun true body can make my heart beat. As they approached the core of the Golden Crow Forbidden Land, the battle became more and more intense. The core of the Golden Crow Forbidden Land is a series of mountains. In the center, there is a majestic mountain that is 100,000 meters high. In this highest mountain, there is a black plant that looks like a golden crow with wings spread. but it emits a golden glow. The sun true body is located on the golden crow holy medicine, like a big sun. Such a scene is like a miracle shown in ancient myths, as if a real golden crow sacred beast is backed by a big sun. Li Zhenhan has joined the battle and fought with the original evil dragon. Gu Kun took a look and ignored it, using the ancient immortal eye to check if Ye Hao was nearby. Ye Hao was in the Pillar of Destiny, and although the Xian temple suppressed his destiny, Gu Kun could still see the clues at a glance. Ye Hao changed his image and disguised himself as a thin young man. There was no way, when fighting for the world tree before the Xian temple was exposed, everyone knew that there was a great opportunity in him. Ha! This guy is also here, trying to intercept the treasure. Gu Kun also found the Pillar of Destiny of Emperor Jiang, hiding in the dark. This slippery thing, relying on its unmatched speed, always grabs the treasure at the last minute, but this time. Gu Kun sneered. Ye Hao was very annoyed. Not only did the world tree not arrive, but even the secrets on his body were exposed. His hatred for the ancient clan became stronger. Wandering around the periphery of the battlefield, Ye Hao was really jealous of the golden crow holy medicine and the sun. When he saw Li Zhenhan appear, Ye Hao thought that Gu Kun and Huangfu Shiyun had also come. Fortunately, they had not appeared for a long time. Xian temple had already used the teleportation section once. If it was used again, it could only break through the realm and escape. It would not be so easy to go back to the realm at that time, so Ye Hao did not want to run into Gu Kun and others unless it was absolutely necessary. He was still hoping to get a great opportunity in the foreign continent. There was a strange feeling in his heart, as if something was calling him. The last time this feeling appeared, Ye Hao got the Xian temple, so he was looking forward to it. What kind of treasure would it be? Chapter 28 Gu Kun's strength is so terrifying. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn it, this couple is here. Ye Hao cursed inwardly. Gu Kun and the other two joined the battle for the treasure. It's a good time to test the strength of this incarnation. Gu Kun looked around and found that there were many children of the ancient clan in the battle for the treasure, led by Gu Suner, the second pride of the ancient clan. When they were in Shiyu Daozhou, the woman who looked down on Gu Kun, she was from the ancient clan branch of Gu He, which was very powerful. She was in the first echelon and was the best among them. She looked down on Gu Kun, or more accurately, Gu Kun, the young patriarch of the ancient clan, who also possessed the ancient holy body, became a dog under the skirt of Huangfu Shiyun. She was not convinced by such a young patriarch. Her opponent was a purple-robed youth, the young master of the Wuji Immortal Palace, whose status was comparable to that of the young patriarch of the Gu clan, as both were members of the Supreme Tao, and the Supreme Tao was extremely powerful. The strength of this young master was extremely terrifying. He belonged to the strongest echelon of the same level as Huangfu Shiyun. He was even stronger than Li Zhenhan, therefore, she didn't take the battle with Gu Suner seriously at all. In this generation of your Gu clan, there was a young patriarch with an ancient holy body, but unfortunately he lost to a woman. You are not my opponent. If I were you, I would run away with my tail between my legs. Kong Fan, the young master of the Wuji Immortal Palace, spoke in a calm tone, with a little impatience. The ancient clan and the Wuji Immortal Palace are at odds. If Gu Suner is still looking for death, I don't mind killing her. It's a pity that if Gu Kun is my opponent, it would be better. Killing the young patriarch of the ancient clan can greatly improve my reputation. It also severely suppresses the arrogance of the ancient clan. Gu Suner gritted her teeth and held a golden spear, which was condensed by a top-level fairy fire and burned with blazing flames. Don't look down on me. Gu Suner rushed up again with a spear. Don't know how to live or die. Kong Fan's eyes turned cold, and a sharp murderous intent burst out. Retracting the holy weapon halberd in his hand, he took the golden arrow behind him in his hand, bent and put the arrow, in an instant. A golden god appeared behind Kong Fan, also pulling an arrow, making many nearby spirits feel tight in their hearts, as if they were stared at by the prehistoric fierce god. As the one being targeted, Gu Suner's face was pale, and her internal organs were squeezed by an unknown force. Her hair stood on end, as if she would be shot dead on the spot the next moment. Another ancient holy weapon. Gu Suner felt bitter. The gap between her and the opponent was too big, not in terms of strength, but in terms of foundation. Her strongest magic weapon was only a top-grade fairy weapon and a fairy fire. but the opponent just took out two holy weapons, both of which had very good origins. The only thing to blame was that the best resources of the ancient clan were all given to Gu Kun by Gu Kun. If Gu Kun used it himself, it would be understandable, as it was enough for his descendants of the ancient clan to stand alone, but Gu Kun, Gu Sunner hated it, hated the patriarch for being partial, hated the family for being unfair. I hate the young clan leader for his ignorance. Think about the ancient clan, which is the strongest and most supreme sect in the 3000 days, but in the competition for the treasure, they don't even have the qualifications to make it to the end and will be eliminated. Gu Kun. I hate you. Facing the arrow shot by Kong Fan, Gu Sunner shouted this indignantly. Sunner sister, you are so naughty. At this time, you still say you hate me. Not just when Gu Sunner looked desperate and waited for the arrow to pierce her body, a young man suddenly appeared in front of her. The young man had a handsome face, and his eyes reflected the ancient world. With a relaxed joke on his face, he raised his hand and rubbed Gu Sunner's head. Be careful. Gu Sunner was stunned, and then reminded. The golden arrow came with the power to pierce everything. However, in the sky, a beam of Qingming ice element surrounded by the black air of destruction shot out and collided with the arrow, cancelling out each other's energy. Gu Gan said to Huangfu Shiyun, go find his opponent, leave this person to me. Okay, brother. Huangfu Shiyun stood on the black lotus of destruction and killed towards the core of the battlefield. Gu Sunner was stunned, and even Gu Gan touched his head, and he didn't know how to react. As the young patriarch, I have been watered with the best resources in the clan, and I will fulfill my corresponding obligations. Just watch, your young clan of the ancient clan is invincible. Gu Gan turned around and killed Kong Fan directly. Kong Fan smiled, if you let Huangfu Shiyun come, I still need to do my best. But for you, only 5 times the power. Kong Fan said with disdain. He bent his hand and put the arrow again. Swish, a golden arrow shot out, heading straight for Gu Gan's brow. The arrow left a long golden afterimage, like a golden divine bird, carrying the fairy mountain on its back, with a strong sense of oppression. Gu Gan looked indifferent. When we were snatching the treasure before, the arrow that shot at Shiyun, you are from the Wuji Immortal Palace, you can only sneak attack, but you are just a rat. Sacred weapon. Do you think I don't have it? Gu Gan's brows burst into colorful light, turning into an ancient shield. At the same time, the ancient holy body showed its power, and the terrifying ancient power swept out. Behind Gu Gan, a majestic human-shaped god appeared, as if he had come from the ancient times. His gestures were terrifying. When the shield blocked the golden arrow, Gu Gan came to Kong Fan and punched him. The human-shaped god behind him also punched him. Kong Fan's original smile faded and his expression became solemn. I thought that Gu Kun was easier to deal with than Gu Sunner, but it seems that I was wrong, but it's normal to think about it. After all, the young patriarch of the ancient tribe is still the ancient holy body, it's just that the power of the rules contained in this punch is too powerful. Even if it is, can only resist it with holy soldiers. If you want to kill my beloved, destroy my people, and insult my dignity, you have a way to kill me. Gu Gun's fierce power is infinite, and the ancient holy body bursts out its true strength for the first time. It's just that Gu Kun has practiced on women. The ancient holy body is even more powerful than the Qingming Ice Soul Immortal Body and the original body of the Sun Supreme Body. It is not an exaggeration to say that Sanqian Daozhou has the strongest physique. After absorbing the original rules of the world of World Tree, the ancient holy body is finally no longer covered in dust, and becomes a saint with the ancient holy body. This is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that he is now in charge of the physical body, a great emperor. Not only does he have sufficient combat experience, but he is also proficient in many magical powers and secret arts. Great Desolate Finger. Gu Gan raised his palm, and time and space seemed to freeze at this moment. Gu Gan didn't need to test Kong Fan's strength, he just used his full strength to attack. Anyway, just for fun and try the power of the ancient holy body, the world has lost its color, and only the index finger of Gu Gan is surrounded by the terrifying ancient power, and the ancient talisman is manifested on it. Kong Fan's expression changed again, he gritted his teeth and held the halberd again. Gu Kun, you lied to everyone, your strength is so terrifying. But I am the young master of the Wuji Immortal Palace, the brightest star in the 3,000 Dao prefectures, how can you defeat me? Break it! Kong Fan roared, using all his strength. The halberd in his hand bloomed with bright holy light, and the spirits who were killed by the halberd in the past appeared one by one, and they all roared, broken. Gu Kun took action with all his strength, but Kong Fan could only do this. The ancient secret technique faced the holy power of the holy weapon, and the surrounding countless volcanoes were torn apart, and magma flowed out. Gu Kun, who was close, was thrown away and was not even qualified to intervene, but her eyes were shining with indescribable light and expectation. Just as Kong Fan thought, she felt that Gu Kun was hiding herself before. As for why you want to hide it, that doesn't matter. This is how the young leader of our ancient tribe should look: majestic. Gu Kun clenched his fists, feeling even more excited than Gu Kun. Puff! Kong Fan flew backwards, spitting out a large mouthful of blood containing the power of Qian blood, which turned into fairy dew and spread all over the sky. In contrast, Gu Kun only took a few steps back. The battle between Gu Kun and Kong Fan was noticed by nearby spirits, and they all stopped to watch. How could it be that Gu Kun suppressed Kong Fan? Some people couldn't believe it. It's true that the ancient Kunkan is a small minority, but when did the ancient holy body become so powerful? I heard that lost to a who came from the lower realm a year ago. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300x250, target type, mix. Chapter 29. I want to eat large intestine sashimi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Qian did not forget to taunt. You are a waste who can only rely on external forces. Are you worthy of being compared with me? Your Wuji Immortal Temple is nothing more than a group of rats. You are so shameless and shameless. Fighting with you will dirty my Huang's sacred hands. Kong Fan's face turned pale. Kun, you are seeking your own death. Kong Fan pinched the spell in his hand, and the phantom of stars appeared behind him. The stars in the sky echoed each other behind Kong Fan, becoming more and more solid. The ultimate skill of Wuji Immortal Palace, the ultimate kill of. Someone exclaimed. The stars alternated more and more rapidly, and finally condensed into a magnificent star body. Give the surrounding spirits an illusion. It was as if I was outside the starry sky, and only the star behind Kong Fan was the real world. The space was distorted and everything was reduced to nothing. Only the stars are extremely clear, slowly moving towards the sky. In Gan's eyes, the stars seem to have turned into real stars. It is so big that the naked eye cannot see the whole thing clearly, as if it has become a member of the ants in a catastrophe, just like when the left Dao realm merged with the 3 Dao prefectures. The spirits who had no time to escape were annihilated, even people like Li Zhenhan and Huangfu Shiyun. Will have the idea that they are ants, but Gan is not arrogant. The immortal eye showed its power, breaking through an illusionary scene, and stared at Kong Fan. Kong Fan hadn't been proud for long when he saw the look in his eyes. It was a joking, indifferent look, as if he was the ant. No. Can't. Kong Fan was horrified. This was his own decisive blow. How could Kun understand the essence of this secret technique in an instant? This is absolutely impossible. Jing said, I am the holy body of Huang. I came to just to conquer thousands of. The clan will not be humiliated, and I will not be humiliated even more. That he used all his strength to stimulate the blood of the wilderness in his body, and the human-shaped god behind him seemed to have really reflected the past from the wilderness to the present. The true form of Huang break all laws with one's body. Gan and the humanoid spirit behind him became one, and his eyes were filled with extremely bright divine light, just like a real god. The rules of the world surround the world, and the aura of desolation sweeps across the Golden Crow Forbidden City. Boom! Gan punched out, and the space exploded inch by inch. What exploded together was the infinitely large star into Qian's eyes. Puff! Kong Fan faced the punch of Ganhuang's true form, and his whole body was blown away like a kite with its string cut off. Qian did not pursue him, but slowly said, I will never look back if I defeat him. because he will never be able to surpass me again, until he can no longer even see my back. As he spoke, Qian clasped his hands behind his back, as if he was an invincible opponent. Seeing this scene, the surrounding spirits exploded. It's outrageous. It turns out that the young members of the tribe are hiding so deeply. It's too scary. Is this the real holy body of desolation? In the previous trial, the brothers of the tribe had no leader and were bullied miserably. It seems that starting from this time, things will change. Suna looked at Gan's back, and her heart was shocked the most. No one hopes more than she does to see that the clan can have an unparalleled arrogant person to take up the banner. The people should not be the ones being bullied, it should be the people who bully others. This is in line with the position of the supreme Taoist leader of the clan. At this moment, all the members of the tribe deep in the Golden Crow Forbidden City exhaled a long sigh of relief. There was excitement on their faces. They know that from now on, brothers from the clan will stand up. Just because the young people of the clan no longer hide, showing the true power of the wild. At the same time, Ye Hao was equally shocked when he saw Kun defeat Kong Fan. How? How could he become so powerful? Ye Hao couldn't believe it, and the last sentence of was my own line. He has obviously defeated Kun twice. Why did Kun become so terrifying in less than 2 days? Ye Hao suddenly had an idea. It's the World Tree. It must be the World Tree. Thinking of this, Ye Hao became even more angry. When they were fighting for the boundary tree, they were only one step away, but they were blocked by this couple. If he can capture the World Tree, the distance between Kun and himself will only become wider and wider. And now, Ye Hao suspected that he was no longer an opponent. Only God Qian knew that even if he obtained the World Tree, he would not be able to grow so amazingly. Take the killer performed by Kong Fan as an example. It is an extremely terrifying secret technique that directly hits the opponent's soul from the heart, and Gan can instantly discern the star's decisive blow, and see the perseverance of his character. Even because of the World Tree, Kun has become so powerful, but the improvement of one's character does not happen overnight. There is definitely a big secret about Kun. Taking advantage of the effect of Huang's real body, Gan directly charged towards a group of IAO who were at the strongest level. Anyone who stands in my way will die. The real body of Huang is too terrifying, and it has greatly improved Gan's comprehensive strength in all aspects. However, this move has a cooldown, so it will still be very weak after it is used, so it is a trump card. The effect lasts for 1 minute. Facing the terrifying aura of Gan, even Yelong chose to stay away. There was a top-notch person who didn't believe in evil and roared in front of Gan. In the end, within 10 moves, he was shot dead. Don't be stupid, he can't maintain this form for long, retreat quickly. Don't fight with Kun in the form of Huang, don't go looking for death. Just wait for his Huang to end, and kill him like a chicken or a dog. Wherever Gan rushed, the pride retreated like a plague god. This made feels boring. He wanted to sweep away a large number of enemies like the character in the novel, but these guys didn't fight with him at all. Looked at the Golden Crow Holy Medicine and the Sun True Fire. If you don't come to stop me, I will have the treasure in my pocket. Threatened, seeing that there was still no one, didn't waste words and went straight to the mouth of the fire. Don't worry, there are natural restrictions around the Golden Crow Holy Medicine. He will be in a short time. Before the arrogant man finished speaking, he saw Wang Gan directly take out an extremely precious array-breaking talisman, which was as valuable as a top-grade immortal weapon. The runes formed naturally around the Golden Crow Holy Medicine quickly disintegrated and dissipated, exposing them in front of Wang Gan. Just when Wang Gan was about to reach out to grab it, just like before, a white light flashed, and the Golden Crow Holy Medicine and the Sun True Fire disappeared. Thank you, Brother Wang, for the gift. It was still a familiar voice, just like a baby. It was very sharp and mocking. Dijiang didn't believe that Wang Gan still had a backup plan for the Golden Crow Holy Medicine and the Sun True Fire this time. Dijiang had been squatting here for almost 5 months, and finally waited for someone to break the natural restrictions, and it was Wang Gan again. Dijiang hid in the dark and took away the World Tree. This time he used the same trick again, but did Wang Gan really not notice that this guy was crouching in the dark? Wang Gan was already familiar with Dijiang's luck pillar. when he first came to the depths of the Golden Crow Forbidden City, he scanned the area with his immortal eyes and found that Dijiang was hidden in a mist, so he had expected this scene of Dijiang snatching treasures and did it deliberately. After all, the invincibility time of his own wild body was coming to an end, and he would instantly become a kidney-deficient person. At that time, he would have to rely on Li Zhenhan and Huangfu Shiyun to take him away. However, there are also top-level pure-blooded divine birds here, such as Suzaku and Kunpeng, which have great speed. He will definitely be caught up by then, and with this burden, he can only get at least one treasure, so Dijiang will be a good mount to take him and others away from here. Seal. In the direction of Dijiang's escape, Huangfu Shiyun, who had been waiting in the mist for a long time, spoke slowly. The next moment, Huangfu Shiyun's eyebrows burst into brilliant runelight, turning into a ceiling tower. What? How could it be? Dijiang was shocked. How could Huangfu Shiyun appear on the road he had to pass? But before he could think about it, the ceiling tower had closed, also entered the ceiling tower and gave Dijiang a friendly smile. Brother Dijiang, I won't be disgusted by the same maggot twice in the same toilet. I can still maintain the form of Huang's true body for 20 seconds. I hope you won't be smashed into meat paste by me. By the way, I haven't eaten Dijiang's meat yet. Stared at Dijiang's body. 2 pairs of wings, can be grilled, 6 legs, wrapped in starch and fried. I don't know if Brother Dijiang has large intestines. I want to eat large intestine sashimi. Smiled and swept his greedy eyes over Dijiang's body. Chapter 30. Brother wants to enjoy first. If he doesn't retreat, he will be killed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dijiang's eyes were solemn. I feel that the space inside the ceiling heaven and earth locking tower is constantly being compressed. After pondering for a moment, he immediately knelt down to Gu Kun. Brother Gu, I was wrong. I won't dare to do it again. Please let me go. You can't expect someone who relies on despicable means to seize the treasure to say such ambitious words. Weren't you very arrogant when you snatched my world tree before, Brother Dijiang? Gu Kun smiled. When Dijiang saw Gu Kun coming towards him, his heart beat wildly. I feel like Gu Kun wasn't joking just now. This guy really wants to eat himself. In fact, in Gu Kun's eyes, the appearance of Dijiang is somewhat similar to that of domestic pigs back home on Earth. I miss the food of my hometown on Earth. Brother Gu, I will return the treasure to you. We have no grudges. I may be able to help you in the future, little brother. There is no need to kill me. My meat is not delicious, but that Suzaku's meat is delicious. Brother Gu will ride on me and kill her later. Dijiang pointed at the red-haired girl in red clothes who was leaning over. The girl's expression changed. Gu Kun is extremely powerful in his true form. Coupled with Shen Xingjiang's extreme speed, he can defeat a group of extremely talented people in minutes. The girl flapped her fiery red Suzaku wings on her back and escaped in an instant. The expressions of the rest of the geniuses approaching the ceiling heaven and earth locking tower also changed, and they did not dare to approach any further. The invincible time was almost over, and Gu Kun stopped talking nonsense and called Huangfu Shiyun, Li Zhenhan, and Li Weiner to enter the ceiling heaven and earth locking tower. Take us away, don't play tricks, or I will bite you directly. Gu Kun said calmly. Don't dare. Dijiang returned the golden crow holy medicine and the true fire of the sun, carried the Gu Kun people on his back, used extreme speed, and disappeared in the mist in an instant. This was Dijiang's first time dealing with the camel man. Let's talk about shame. It's not much of a shame. When Gu Kun asked to follow him before, the reason why refused so decisively was because his life was under his control. And after Gu Kun tried to persuade him, followed him, can't he run? But he has no fighting ability. How can he talk about dignity? Gu Kun posted a talisman at the heart of Dijiang and reinforced it with a ban. This guy wants to defect, so just blow him up. Gu Kun soon fell into a period of weakness and recovered by sitting cross-legged. Huangfu Shiyun asked curiously, Brother, I know the barbecue you just mentioned, but what are starch and sashimi? As for starch, you don't know it even if I tell you. Take Dijiang's meat as an example. Cut off the legs, cut them into pieces, coat them in starch and fry them. It will be more delicious and form a layer of texture on the outside. Layer of protection to prevent nutrient loss. As for the large intestine sashimi, just cut open Jiang's belly, pull out the large intestine, clean it, cut it, and eat it directly with the dipping sauce. Gu Kun gave Huangfu a poem about how to eat it in his hometown on earth. Vomit. Huangfu Shiyun pretended to retching, isn't the large intestine used to hold daddy? I think the large intestine is better when it is cooked. You see how fat the large intestine is, so the large intestine must be very fat, and it will definitely be very fragrant when stir-fried. Gu Kun had a profound look on his face. No. Has shit, so he definitely can't eat sashimi. But think about it, this guy must be taking top-notch heaven and earth medicine, so his intestines and stomach must have a sense of primitive and natural vegetation. Fragrant. Jiang trembled when he heard this. Brother Gu, you are my eldest brother. Can you please stop taking the little beast as an example? The little beast is afraid. To be honest, Gu Kun is really greedy. As a Yanhuang person, the nature of eating everything is amplified at this time, so I really want to try the taste of Jiang meat. Why don't you cut off the leg? It can grow back in the future. Gu Kun discussed with Jiang. Jiang was trembling in his heart. No. Brother Gu. Please, my meat doesn't taste good. Gu Kun was displeased. You have 6 legs, what's wrong with cutting off one of your legs? I'm so uncooperative, I've changed my mind, I'll eat your Jiang whip. Huangfu Shiyun asked again, what is the Jiang whip? The root of life. Gu Kun's words are concise and comprehensive. Jiang felt a cold air blowing across his crotch. Brother Gu. Don't do it. This is my dignity. Without, how can I find female Emperor Jiang? For the sake of helping you get out of danger, give the little beast a way out. Gu Kun refused to give up. You still have the nerve to say that my world tree has been destroyed by you. How can we settle this account? Seeing that Gu Kun was determined to eat himself, he quickly stopped. Brother Gu, from today on, you are my big brother. You and I will fly east, but I will never fly west. Jiang Liuzu knelt down. If it weren't for the fact that his head was in chaos, he would have been kowtowing long ago. In the end, Jiang gave a drop of soul blood to Gu Kun for safekeeping, completely reducing him to a mount. With Jiang's current cultivation level, a drop of soul blood can determine his death. Jiang breathed a sigh of relief. The boss can't eat him anymore, can he? But Gu Kun's next words directly made Jiang anxious. I still want to eat the meat of the mythical beast. Gu Kun swallowed and patted Jiang's fat body beneath him. Jiang, who was going berserk, then thought about it. Could it be that Gu Kun deliberately angered him and then found a reason to kill him? Thinking of this, Jiang suddenly became silent. Gu Kun also thinks about it. After all, Jiang is also his younger brother, and he is also majestic when riding a divine beast. Not long after, with Jiang's extreme speed, he soon arrived at a valley containing the majestic immortal energy. Fairy spring. Go down and take a look. Gu Kun ordered. Jiang fell down obediently. A war broke out here not long ago, and the purpose was to compete for the fairy spring at the core of the valley. The fairy spring contains extremely pure fairy power, and it also emits dense steam. The best immortal vein with fire attribute. It's a pity that my body is not here, otherwise the immortal vein will be taken away directly. Gu Kun sighed secretly. This is a top-grade immortal vein with fire attributes, so this immortal spring formed a natural hot spring. No one wants to share this kind of wonderful place. Gu Kun thought so, and so did the current owner of Xianquan. After defeating all opponents, it was time to enjoy the fairy spring, but he never thought that another group of people would come. People from the Holy Land. Huangfu Shiyun said, this is a group of young geniuses from the Taiga Holy Land. Among them are 2 saints and saints who are very famous in Sanqian Daozhou, as well as many disciples from the Taiga Holy Land. They are all very powerful, but against the ancient Gan people, plus the newly joined Emperor Jiang, there was no chance of winning. When fighting to destroy the Black Lotus and World Tree in Shiyu Daozhou, Huangfu Shiyun's strength was quite eye-catching. Li Zhenhan never said that he was the senior brother of Xianyuan sword sect. As for Gu Kun's reputation, it hasn't spread yet, but the ancient holy body is enough to compare with a saint. Senior brotherly, our Taiga Holy Land has occupied this place. After we practice some practice, the fairy spring here is willing to give way to you. The leading saint bowed slightly towards Li Zhenhan. In her opinion, Li Zhenhan should be the leader among the people, and he is also a very good person. Li Zhenhan looked at Gu Kun. Brother Gu, what do you decide? Gu Kun chuckled. I think we should practice some cultivation first, and then give this place to the fairy spring. The saint's face suddenly turned cold. Gu Kun, what do you mean by this? We fought so hard to get the fairy spring, but you can't enjoy it first if you say you can enjoy it first. Brother, enjoy. Huanfu Shiyan's fairy beads and black lotus of destruction appeared. If you don't retreat after 3 breaths, kill him. Huanfu Shiyan's voice was cold. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, _tabula. Push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target _type, mix.